One chapter. We built a movement not just for today, but for tomorrow. We have trained teachers, inspired young minds, and fostered a community of thinkers, doers, and dreamers. At the heart of our work stand four pillars, four centers. The Technological Center, home to World Robot Olympiad Nigeria, and a hub for robotics excellence. The School Leaders and Teachers Development Center, constantly equipping educators with the skills to inspire. The Research and Advocacy Center, where policies and innovations take shape. And the School Transformation Center, redefining education one institution at a time. But the journey is far from over. The future calls and we answer. With the launch of the STEM School on Wheels, we take learning beyond walls and straight into the heart of communities. With RoboStarter, we plant the seed of innovation in the minds of our youngest learners. With every initiative, we affirm one truth. Education is not a privilege, it's a right. At the helm of this movement is a leader with passion, Abisola Obasanya, the visionary force behind Arclight's foundation. Her dream has lit the way for thousands, and with every step forward, that light only grows brighter. This is not just about robotics. This is not just about STEM. This is about a generation that will redefine what is possible. This is about Nigeria. This is Arclight's foundation. The future is here and it's ours to build.
Today, my team, Tech Titans, will be participating in the Robot Missions Junior under the World Robotics Olympiad Games.
What our robots need to do is that it will go around an obstacle course, and then after completing 3 laps, it will perform a perfect parallel parking at the end of its course.
The future for Arclight's Foundation. We saw the future was STEM, and when STEM wasn't popular in Nigeria, we stood on that and we continued every year. When we did not even have donations, we kept on using personal funds until we're here now.
One beauty with Nabati events is that we are trying to produce the next generation of future inventors, innovators, problem solvers, youths and people who can actually provide solutions to Nigeria's problem and help us to solve our challenges at a local, continental, and even a global stage.
The autonomous navigation, the robots goes to pick the humans who cannot walk and bring them to the safe zone. Then year after, it goes to the smart grid control center. And once it's 25 millimeter away from the ultrasonic sensor, it sends a signal to the relay module.
What this does is that it carries out farm activities, such as making farm, planting, harvesting, watering, pest control, and also spraying on pesticides.
And I created a computer vision algorithm that sequences to extract image, detect the lanes, detect the lines on the map, so it will know when it should turn and it should.
This is the second time I'm coming here, Lagos Oriental, for this great, magnificent event that is currently ongoing, the robotics event. Let me start by thanking the organizers for putting this together, for continuously doing this for our kids who are the leaders of tomorrow starting today. And what we're trying to achieve here is to put create that platform for our kids so that they can compete on a global scale.
When people hear about robotics and AI, they think it's something far-fetched. If we're getting in here in Lagos State at our doorsteps, then it is something that we should embrace.
We only encourage Hacklight to continue doing what they are doing. We want more of it. We will all continue to be partners to them, and we hope that this will continue to grow bigger.
Robotics is about the present and the future. In the future, we must incorporate it into our national curriculum.
We are the future. We are the dream.
Today is WRO 2025. Since 2011, we have been organizing the preliminaries and the qualifiers of the World Robot Olympiad International.
At the heart of the nation
At NITDA, part of our mandate is the development of information technology in Nigeria. IT has gone beyond what we used to know 10, 20 years ago. Right now we are talking about emerging technologies, and robotics is one of the emerging technologies. AI is also one of the emerging techs.
We are the nation, we are part of this. We are the nation.
Looking forward to things that you will bring up that will transform the nation, innovations that will change the trajectory of things that happen in Lagos, particularly the nation and the world in general.
Everything is about collaboration and partnership in the global space right now. For us to be able to measure up, to compete favorably with the international community, we need every stakeholder in this area.
When we build robots that can move on land, fly in air, we also need the ones that can move underwater. And if you say, oh, I can easily do that, what about the issue of communication, wireless communication underwater? Radio frequency does not work underwater. You need acoustic signals. It's a challenge to the young ones here. Begin to look at beyond these ground vehicles and drones, how can you build underwater vehicles that can allow communication?
So get out of the way of the land of my dreams. I am the nation.
So we came up with the idea to solve the problem of detecting a goal using electromagnetic field. Inside the ball, there are chips that will communicate with the field that we generated inside the goalpost, and it will send that signal to your watch. So
our project is meant to sort trash into different compartments, 3 different compartments: dry, wet, and metal. So we have 3 different sensors here. We have the metal sensor, the IR sensor.
Hacklight Foundation was created to provide quality education for the Nigerian child, so that the Nigerian child will look at the situation and see opportunities, not just local opportunities, but be excellent about the local opportunities and also the global opportunities. And that's what we've always provided. We've taken a number of children to WRO, children that have never traveled away from their local environment. They've made friends abroad, they've made friends from different countries, and they've done teamwork. They've made partnerships. Coaches, we've trained coaches, and in turn those coaches have trained the children as well. So our core is to transform that Nigerian child.
We want to thank Hacklight for leaving no primary school behind, because their letter now invited so many public schools to be involved this time. And we have like thousands of teachers that they have interest to train now.
It gives me joy that these children, they have the opportunity to explore, innovate, and bring solutions to our challenges in the society.
I'm happy for one thing today, that Hacklights have brought this innovation to public primary school. I'm happy because you did not write them off. You have given them the opportunity to see what a robot is.
This platform gives them an opportunity to be able to showcase what they create. And it also gives them an opportunity to be able to get sponsorship for their creative innovations. It also helps them to, helps us as a continent, as a country, move from tech, dependence to tech creation. Now we are inspiring our children to be become tech creators, to become tech solution creators. And so I think it's very, very important. I applaud WRO Nigeria for this awesome platform.
What excites me most today is that I get to showcase what I've done and talk about what we've been working on over the weeks and months. That's what excites me the most.
It's been about 2 months that we have been preparing for this. So it has been an intensive one, back-to-back training, going to the lab to get the robots ready, coding and all that.
My son has been with them for some time now. They traveled together to Turkey and is going with them again this year.
And the first position goes to that school with 114 points, which is no other school than New Era!
I came to win, to fight, to conquer.
And we're happy today we have 122 teams from over 80 schools, making up over 300 participants.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to ArcLight Foundation. Today, we are all here to look at and discuss what it is like for girls in the robotics sector. We have a few speakers lined up for us today, and trust me, we're going to have a good time today, learning, relearning, and unlearning as well. Now, before we go ahead, I would like us to get to know each other, introduce ourselves in the chat box section, please. And please, let's note, no unmuting of mics, but let us introduce ourselves, where we are, which states we're coming in from, who we are, and get to know ourselves in the chat box session in the next few minutes. I would like to see everybody and know everybody. Hi, Nancy. Welcome as well. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing the first few people that are going to respond in the chat box. And before I move on, let me say this quickly. Happy International Day of the Girl Child. Yes, I know it was yesterday, but today we're all coming here to celebrate the girl child through this webinar on AI, STEM, and robotics, raising the future. Okay, thank you, John. Thank you, John from Nigeria. Thank you, Faith Ujunwa from Anambra State. Oh, Faith, welcome. She's from one of our training platforms. Welcome. Okay, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. I like what I'm seeing here. Oh, I forgot. Did I introduce myself? My bad. I didn't introduce myself, and I'm telling people to introduce themselves. My name is Adeshewa, and I am from Lagos, Nigeria as well. Welcome, okay, from Lagos. Please, let's put it in the chat box session. No unmuting of mine. Please, no unmuting of mics. Let's put it in the chat box session. Okay, let's have more. Let's have more people come in. I'm seeing, I'm reading. Yes, let's. I'm still waiting. Okay, Sikir Morakinyo, welcome. Oh, from Malayo, the University of Education, Oyo State. Welcome, thank you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Let's keep it coming, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming, I'm waiting. I have just about 4 people here, and we have about 16 persons on this. So please, let's keep it coming. Let's get to know ourselves properly before we move on. And thank you to those that have been able to introduce themselves. I appreciate it all. Thank you, John. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Ope. Thank you, Murakinyo. Thank you, Nancy from Imo State, Nigeria. Welcome to the webinar as well. Thank you. Can I have more people introducing themselves? Let's get to know each other. At least I've known more people today. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome, Abby. Thank you for introducing yourself. Thank you, Abby. Thank you. CEO of ArcLight Foundation. She introduced herself. So Now I'm getting to know. See, I'm getting to know lots more people on this platform. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Thank you. Thank you, Olubo Ale Strongosaya from UK. Thank you for joining on this webinar. Can we have more people? Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Thank you, Miracle Okolie from Lagos. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Can we have more people coming in? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I need just 2 more people. Please, if I have it up to 10, and then we're going to move on. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Okay. Let's move on to today's session. We have a few people introduce themselves, and it's been an amazing time. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for introducing yourselves. Thank you for being Jennifer. Thank you for coming in. Jennifer from UK. Yes, Jennifer from UK. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Dr. Raimi, that will be answered during the question and answer session. We are just introducing ourselves for now. So once we have that, you're going to answer your question, please. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. We got that. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at how girl child can be in the world of robotics and STEM. And we have our keynote speaker for today. Our first speaker for today, Obasanya, CEO of Arclight Foundation, also national organizer of World Robotics Olympiad. Abisola Obasanya is a seasoned educator, early years consultant, and advocate for STEM education in Africa. With a teaching career that began at the age of 15, she holds multiple academic qualifications, including a BSc, PGDE, MBA, MSc, and currently studying for a PhD in early years technology rather. She has completed executive training in educational management at Oxford University and is an alumni of Lagos Business School. As CEO of Arclight Foundation and national organizer of WRO, she leads national initiatives that integrate technology into early education, such as the AI-enabled ECCDA classes, the STEM bus, and ALF Learn. She's also the founder of Ashton, a network of supporting over 5,000 school directors and educators. And I don't know, I got goosebumps reading that. Let us invite Abisola Obasanya today as the first keynote speaker and the convener of this webinar. Welcome. I can't clap, but I'm going to give a clap right here. Welcome.
Thank you, Okwe. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's wonderful to be here. Thanks to everyone for joining, and thank you to the other keynote speakers. Am I clear? Can you hear me? Let me increase.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's a great honor to be here. I'm really glad we're doing this, and it's on a wonderful day.
Sorry, Abby, you're muted.
You're muted.
Okay, the host muted everyone. Okay, I'll start again. So I was saying good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. It's a great honor to be here today. And I was mentioning that it's a wonderful day where the world pauses to celebrate the brilliance, the power, and the potential of not just a child, but the girl child. It's the year's International Day of the Girl Child, and it calls us all to reflect on how and the ways we're treating the girls, how we are equipping the girls, not just for today, but for the future, a future that is ready and, already shaped by science, technology, engineering, and maths. We see the new ways things are going. And now AI and robotics, artificial intelligence and robotics is the core. I want to first start by congratulating and thanking the women that are joining me today, the Ekenedilichukwu, Jennifer. There'll be more introductions, but I'm just glad and I'm happy to have you with me today. Thank you so much for offering to do this. I also want to thank my colleagues, John, Okwe, all of you that put this together. It is always wonderful to have you. I thank you. We have some of our board members here. We have Mr. Ashwangosoya here. We are happy to have you. If I see any other of the board members, I will greet you. Thank you so much for joining. So across the world, because I don't have enough time, okay, let me know how many more minutes I have. I'll set the timer. Across the world, we know that innovation is moving faster than ever. AI is designing cities. Okay, was talking about my PhD. Sorry, let me mute that. Apologies. Okwe was talking about my PhD. My PhD is actually in early technology and STEM education, actually AI and robotics. And I'm really investigating how AI and robotics is shaping the world. And it's really apt that this is what we're talking about as well, because across the world, innovation is moving faster than ever. AI is designing cities, diagnosing diseases, predicting climate change and all of that, and defining how we work now. So robotics is transforming how we manufacture, how we farm, and even the care for the elderly. We've always used robotics. A lot of us did not know, but when we use our vacuum cleaner, that those vacuum cleaners that move and all that, the robo vacuum cleaners, that is the work of robotics. And so robotics is closer to us than we actually admit or really recognize. But the not so uncomfortable through the truth that in Africa and in Nigeria in particular, I wouldn't say that we are late, because we have the opportunity to join the global race, and this is the time. I believe that Nigeria has the numbers, and we have that. So this is an opportunity where that we can join the global race, and particularly specifically at the participation of girls, to close that gap, which it's quite a wide gap, to close the gap that in bringing up our girl child and how they participate. According to UNESCO, in 2023, UNESCO states that women make up to 28% of engineering graduates and less than 22% of AI professionals globally. So that's an opportunity. And when we see things like this, to us, it's an opportunity to do more. It's an opportunity to push the girls more, and not to neglect the boys, but to also say, oh, the girls can do more. In Nigeria, the numbers are lower. About maybe 13% of students in STEM tertiary programs are female. Most of them are male. I remember, I'm close to 50 now, but I remember that when we were growing up, I'd never seen a woman engineer, never. I just thought that engineers were men. I'd never come to think of it. Maybe I've seen a woman doctor, one or two. However, most doctors, to me at that point too, were women, were men, and the nurses were doctors. So these are the stereotypes that we face, and we still face in some areas. It's better now. Women see more. Although girl children see more, more females doing more things. However, there's still a gap. Yet there's still fields that are defining economies and innovation and leadership. We need to do more to close this gap. This isn't just a gender gap, it's actually a future gap. So that's why I keep on saying it. What is in the future, and how can we close that gap for our girl child, most especially, because we know the trajectory, and when things are moving up, there's always that there's a tendency for the neglect for the girl child. Because when the half of the population is left behind in the world's most transformative industries, we all lose out on the innovation, creativity, and the empathy that women and girls bring. I was speaking to my husband today, and he was telling me how I do things differently. differently, and how I see things differently, and how that brings a flavor. And I think that is it for every woman, every girl, child. There's a difference. There's the creativity, the empathy that we bring. There's a way we are wired that is different. And so that's what we want to promote. So why are there so many few Nigerian girls in STEM, AI, and robotics? The reasons are layered, I believe. They are systemic, they're cultural, and they're educational. And in Arclights Foundation, we've been working a lot with states, with local states, and you can hear that Nancy is in Enugu, so we're working in the southeast. We have Victor in Nimna in the north. We have Busari in the south, in the north central. So we're across the 6 geopolitical zones, and we work in locally, and we see the cultural bias. We see how culture actually shapes education. We see how the way they do things shape education. So many girls lose interest as early as upper primary, the stage where, it's often described as the start of the leaky pipeline. So cultural stereotypes are there, where they tell you that girls are for engineering. When you're teaching teachers to go and teach robotics in the classrooms, and they're picking all boys. Every time you see the classes are filled with boys, engineering is for boys. The boys they have a flair for this. And so those are the things that we're working on, to teach the teachers. So we're very particular about teaching teachers, and you'll hear a lot about Arclights training. This year we pushed to train 25,000 teachers. And how did we say we would do this? We said we'll go to every state and we ask for 1,000 teachers, and we are on the 7th state. We didn't start from the beginning of the year, but since when we started, we're on the 7th state, and we've asked for 1,000 teachers, and some of our teachers are here. I congratulate you. I thank you. We have textbooks still often depict men as scientists, and women as nurses or teachers. A lot of women. I've done the state I went to, that we've been to. Yes, we did the survey. A lot of women are teachers. However, it's part of it is stereotyping as well. Textbooks saying that school lack resources as well. You go to school, there are no labs, even for the boys, not for the not enough resources, equipment, and teachers are we also lack teachers who can train in emerging technologies. So where we are, and that's what we're doing here, we're training the teachers. So we're also mixing them and encouraging them to partner with global teachers as well. We're also merging them and also introducing them to partnerships such as the Google. With Google, they help us mentor our teachers, and we are with a program now where our teachers and that we're mentoring for WRO also have Google mentors, and they check their work, they check the children, and this really helps us. We do not always focus on the boys. We ensure that we have a good balance of girls as well. And in many communities, poverty and early marriage cut short girls' dreams before they even begin. So are you going to introduce STEM education to a child that's married as early and knows that there's no future there? So these barriers compound to make girls feel like technology is a world they can observe but not shape. And we are here to correct that. But this conversation is not just about fairness. It's also about national survival and global competitiveness. In Nigeria, if Nigeria truly wants to thrive in the 4th industrial revolution, we cannot afford to leave our girls behind. AI and robotics will create over 97 million new jobs globally by 2030, according to the World Economic Forum. But if girls are not trained, if girls are not mentored, if girls are not encouraged, they will not just miss out, they will be locked out. We don't want to lock our girls out, and we don't want to continue with the stereotyping of pushing only the boys and seeing the boys like things like this. They like to build, the girls like to cook. We are all, the girls can do this as well. So we see stories of possibility, and there's hope in Nigeria. There's hope with all of us here coming together on such a day like this to commemorate this. And there's so many Nigerians doing wonderful things. I follow a lady on Instagram. She's wonderful, Dr. Adiola Olubamiji. She's a first Black person to earn a PhD, a woman in biomedical engineering, university. I think it's in Canada or somewhere, or America, one of the two. And now she's pioneering 3D printing and technology in Africa. There's Faith Odunsi, the Nigerian math prodigy, who beat competitors from US, from UK, from China. And she reminds me of the brilliance that knows no gender. There's Ellen Chimba from Malawi, there's Charlotte from Cote d'Ivoire, and the winner of the 2020 African Prize of Engineering Innovation. All of this developing, and she was developing facial recognition and using AI. There's so many ladies doing wonderful things that our children are looking at. And our work in Acolytes Foundation gives us that helps us to bridge the gap, that opportunity gap. These women across the world are the evidence that talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. So Acolytes is there to then say that, let's bridge this opportunity. Where are these opportunities and where are the girls? And how can we merge this together? Through our STEM programs, we do a lot. When Acolytes Foundation first started, the core of what we were doing, we're promoting the girl child. We supported Oreshomolu Lacey, the W Tech in teaching girls summer camps and promoting girls in robotics and through Lego education, through WRO as well, and training and empowering girls and doing that. And now over the years, we've done wonderful things. And with the School on Wheels program, we bring fully equipped mobile STEM labs and robotics lab directly to schools, especially in undeserved communities, so that girls can have hands-on exposure to coding, robotics, AI. If you look at our videos, it was really, really shocking that some of the videos, the girls were really enthusiastic. They were really into it. It shows evidence that when given the opportunities, girls will thrive. Now we train teachers to integrate STEM education into everyday learning. We organize robotics competition through WRO that allow girls to collaborate, innovate, and lead. WRO used to have a scholarship program where all the girls, if you're an all-girls team, you have an opportunity to win scholarships, to win things. WRO opens minds for girls, really loves girls to be there. And so we celebrate our girls when we have them come for the competition. And we intentionally showcase female role models in science and tech because representation matters. If you look at our best coaches in WRO, in robotics in Nigeria, they are women. There are two women I want to celebrate. I hope they're on this live now, Mrs. Ijima Kinwa and Mrs. Onolakpo. Those are two best Nigerian robotics coaches. Take it from me. They've traveled with us, with their children, several times. Mrs. Ijima Kinwa, Mrs. Onolakpo as well. If you Google her page, she's a public teacher. Mrs. Ijima is a private teacher. And these two women are doing a lot. They're both also coincidentally going with us to WRO Singapore this time. Their teams also did very well and will be representing Nigeria. Mrs. Onolakpo Kemi Onolakpo through the public school, Lagos State, and Mrs. Ijima through some other private schools as well. So already hundreds of girls have built robots, coded programs, and presented projects that solve real community problems. And they also have, in some way, some female teachers that we are also encouraging more teachers. Representation really matters. When children see that, oh, my teacher can do it. I have a teacher that is doing AI, that's teaching AI. They'll know the possibility is that I can also do it and do better. So we have girls building things from clean energy solutions to automated waste sorting solutions. Each of these girls represent a brighter future for Nigeria. When I see the girls come to WRO, we have the honor to have a lot of schools from the Lagos State come with their girl teams. New Era girls, they're always there. We had the wonderful opportunity to have a lot of the Vivian Fowler Memorial girls attend WRO as well. They will also be representing Nigeria at the WRO as well. And we keep on pushing the girls. And wherever we can find opportunities to do more, we do more. But this is also a call to action as I wrap up. To educators, we want educators to spark the curiosity early from that early child. We have been spending our time building a new curriculum for the Abia State, and the core, what the governor said he wanted science and tech added, character education. It wanted, the entrepreneurship mindset that the Igbos have must be there. So we've been building a new curriculum for this state that has a wonderful science STEM education from an early age, from early childhood. ECCDE 1, the 3-year-olds, the first time in school, you're straight at it. The mindset is being built, resources are provided. We trained over 5,000 teachers in robotics for the primary and ECCD and primary. Majorly, they will teach in the primary. We trained them a few months ago in Abia as well. So we're doing stuff. So we are preaching to the educators, spark curiosity early science experiment, every coding lesson, every classroom discussion is a seed that could grow into innovation. You don't have to be an engineer to inspire one, but you can build one. I used to teach nursery children, and that's my joy. When I know and see my kids now, I know that when they were babies, I used to hope and trust that they do well, and children do well when given the right opportunities, when put in the right place. So we're encouraging our educators to spark that curiosity. Let you be the first person to ignite that excellence in that child, to want to do that STEM education if they want to. To parents and community leaders, we encourage that your daughters encourage your daughters to tinker, let them question, let them build. Just replace that phrase, this is for boys and this is for girls, to you can do it too. If they want to climb on trees, if they want to ask questions, if they want to rip up your radio and put it back together, please let them question, let them build. Don't say, oh, don't behave like boys. Let the girls behave as they want to behave. To policy makers, let's prioritize gender responsiveness, responsive education budgets. So let's remember that we have, like the gender that a lot of times are not supported. So let's support them differently. Ensure AI and robotics are embedded in the curriculum. Be like Abia and fund STEM infrastructure for public schools. I saw that the federal ministry actually delivered 800 interactive whiteboards to the school. That's pushing technology in the schools, but that is just giving them the tool to write and all that. That's not just STEM education. It's infusing STEM infrastructure. That is fantastic, but they need to work on resources as well, and we can use local resources. To private sector, we encourage you that you invest in mentorships, internships, and partnerships to open doors for girls. Here in the UK, my daughter in the university, she's studying chemical engineering, and she, mommy, this period is where the internships have opened, and they're all on internet on their own looking for opportunities. She's applied to mobile, she's applied. It's not who you know, it's that it's a fair open ground where you can go online and just do it yourself and get these internships and mentorships. And it's across the world. They have that opportunity. We want to see that with our Nigerian girls as well. We don't want to see Nigerian private sector open that opportunity. So I do not work in, others or these STEM companies because I know somebody there, but it's because I've applied, I've shared my story, and I'm hoping to have an opportunity with you. Let's give girls the fair opportunity. The return on that investment is a more innovative workforce and a stronger economy. You will be doing your nation so much good. And to my fellow change makers and the NGOs, let us collaborate, not compete. To scale impact, I don't compete. I have a lot of friends in the NGO world and we do things together. Partnership is how we multiply. Nigeria and Africa may have arrived, not late, I wouldn't say late, to the AI robotics revolution, but we are not too late to lead the next one. The future is not waiting for us. We have the numbers. Imagine Nigeria, they say this is the hub of this, but Nigeria is the hub where you have millions, hundreds of millions of people, and we are young, and we have so many young people, that can do stuff. The future is not waiting, and neither should we. So we should start building these children now, where we have a crop of people in future and now that can do stuff. Let us build classrooms that don't just teach girls to consume technology, but we're teaching these girls to create it. Let us raise girls who don't just dream of the future, but they design it. And let us ensure that when history writes the story of Africa's digital transformation, it will tell of a generation of Nigerian girls who dared to light up the world. Thank you so much as we speak together further today. Thank you. It is wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great. I picked a lot of things, but I'm going to say two things in that really caught my attention. When you said that educators should spark the curiosity in girls. So that means we need to start from somewhere. You don't have to be a robotics person or a STEM-inspired person to spark up the curiosity in the children. That's what. And then you said the what's it called? The African mentality. That got me as well, because I remembered yesterday, someone asked my daughter, that is 13, she's just in SS1, that, oh, so she wants to be a nurse. That is why she's in science class. She said, no, I want to be an architect and I want to build houses using AI. I'm like, Oshe, well done. That is good. And that is one thing that happens to us in Africa. When we hear these girls, we always want to put them in nurse, all those feminine kind of thing. But no, ArcLight's foundation is stepping in and is changing that curse. And I hope we all want to ride on this train with us as well. So now let's welcome our other speaker coming in. We don't have much time left. Yes, I couldn't cut Abby short because I was enjoying a panel session. I'm not going to lie about that. I know she's going to give me the eye like, look at you. Yes, I was enjoying the session and I just couldn't cut it short, that's why. So let's welcome our next speaker for today, Adora Nwodo, founder and executive director of Nexus Scale USA. I am ready, I am packed, my notes are here. Please, let's put our hands together as she comes in and gives us an insight as well. Welcome.
Let me say welcome to Adora as well. I didn't mention her when I mentioned Jennifer and Ekenedilichukwu. I didn't see your picture. Welcome, Adora. It's wonderful to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, our next panelist as well that is coming on board today with Adora and Abi is Ekenedilichukwu Okolie, founder, STEM Damsel Empowerment Network. Welcome on board. Thank you for joining us for today. Our next panelist for today is Jennifer Emiabata, Senior Validation Engineer, GSK UK. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
And our moderator for today, we have Nancy Anyado, Southeast Regional Coordinator for ArcLight Foundation. Thank you, and I hope you're ready for us.
Yes, I am. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Okay, thank you, Abisola, for the introduction. Good day, everyone. It's such a joy to welcome you all to this very special session in celebration of the International Day of the Girl Child. As Adeshowa has said, my name is Nancy Anyado, and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. As I look at the amazing audience we have, I can see people joining us from across Nigeria and beyond. I can't help but feel excited because, conversations like this one truly shape the future. And we all know that technology is changing our world faster than ever. Artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation are rewriting what it means to work, learn, and even to think creatively. The truth is, there's still a huge gender gap in STEM participation, not just globally, but right here in Nigeria. The keynote speaker and founder of Archives Foundation, in her opening remarks, mentioned that this isn't just a gender gap, but a future gap, because it starts when a young girl who loves solving puzzles or fixing things is told that's for boys. But we can change that narrative. Yes, we can. Today's conversation is about practical solutions, not just talking about the challenges, but exploring how we can all be part of the change. Because when girls are empowered to explore STEM, amazing things happen. They don't just learn how to build robots or write code. They learn how to think critically, how to solve problems, and how to lead innovation in ways that benefit communities. And we have incredible women on our panel today who are already doing just that. They are breaking barriers, that they are building innovations, and they are mentoring the next generation of tech-savvy girls. So once again, I welcome you all warmly to today's webinar. Let's learn, let's share, and let's keep raising future-ready girls. Thank you. Now it's time for the heart of our session. That is the panel discussion. As I mentioned earlier, we have an incredible lineup of women. We have Adora, Ekene, and Jennifer. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So for our audience that are just joining us, if you have any questions for any of the panelists, kindly write them out in the chat. Your questions will be addressed during the question and answer session. Thank you. I'd like to begin with a big picture question to all our panelists. What is the hope for the future of the Nigerian girl child in AI, robotics, and STEM fields? Adora, you can begin. We can just have like a 1 minute opening thought. You can unmute and respond. Thank you.
What is the hope for the Nigerian child in AI, robotics, and STEM fields? The Nigerian girl child. If I'm being very honest, I think what I'm even going to start with, right, is the fact that I don't like the way this question is phrased. Because it talks about, oh, the Nigerian girl child in AI, robotics, STEM fields, right? Which is fine and which is important because we want more Nigerians in these fields. We want more girls in these fields. But I think that we've been talking for like maybe 10 years about the same problem. And I see fewer momentum towards the solution of the problem, but I see a lot of conversations around the problem. I see people talking about Nigerian girls in STEM. What is the hope for them? Obviously, my hope is that I want to see more girls chasing STEM careers. I want to see more girls in my master's class. I'm an AI researcher currently at Georgia Tech. I want to see more girls in my master's class. I want to see more girls in my office. I want to see more leaders in technology. I want to see more female engineers, right? But I don't think it should be more around what the hope is, but it should be more around what are we currently doing to get to these points? Because every International Women's Day, we talk about the hope. Since I started public speaking more than 10 years ago, every International Women's Day, we talk about the hope. We are here now, and the first question is about the hope. But when we finish having this conversation about the hope, it's like, okay, we've said what we hope would happen.
Yeah.
What are we doing to move forward to actually get there? And I would like to rephrase that question to be that. I will not answer it here for like myself so that it doesn't look like maybe some form of plug, but I would want everyone to think about that question differently and instead ask themselves, what am I doing to get at least one Nigerian girl in AI, robotics, and STEM? That's what we should be thinking about. That's what we should be asking ourselves, not the formal question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adora, and I really appreciate that. Like you said, for over 10 years, we're always, what's the hope? What's the hope? Trust me, that is part of why we are here. And that's why we have people like you on this panel session, so that we can, figure out ways forward, practical solutions, so that we all leave here with solutions that we can do from our own end, from our homes, from our families, from our schools, our classrooms. Okay, thank you so much. So, Ekene, your opening thoughts, please.
All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me, Nancy. Okay.
Yes, I
Hello,
can.
everyone. Okay, thank you. Happy International Girls' Day to every beautiful girl out there. The Arclight Foundation, thank you for the great work you're doing. The opening remark by the executive director was truly mind-blowing. Well done. And to my other panelists, it's a pleasure to also be on the panel with you. Nancy, in response to your question, when I heard this question, I mean, it's a question we hear every time, just like the first speaker said. And I don't want to repeat what it is that she has said, so I'm just going to say what differs from what she's saying. I agree with her that hope isn't passive, because this is the way we always want to look at hope. People think that hope is just a wishful thinking. So beyond having the wishful thought, what exactly is the hope for the Nigerian girl? For some of us who work in rural communities and the underserved communities, when from Arclight Foundation, I'm happy that some of the girls who we mentor in Agbo Delta State are on the call, so that they can also see the possibilities that are embedded therein. But the girls are not only dealing with systemic barriers that deal with access, lack of education, or empowerment. We are dealing with issues around mindset barriers. So what I hope to see, as we look at the hope for the girl child, is beyond the coding classes and beyond the infrastructure, we need to begin to put in systems that also help us dismantle these mindset barriers. Because I have also come across women who are doing great stuff, but they lack the confidence to even express the solution, to even express the solutions that they have been able to create. So in a nutshell, we must address this mindset and behavioral constraints. And I believe that if we get it right, we'll be able to build an ecosystem that is not just preparing girls for the future, but an ecosystem that trusts that girls can lead this future. This, for me, is the beginning of hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ekene, for that opening thought. And Jennifer, we would love to hear from you too, briefly. You're muted.
First and foremost, thank you, Abby, for I am so excited with all that you said on this platform, all that you are doing. My heart is buzzing with excitement. I've been in the engineering industry for over 30 years, so it's a long journey. I've done it all, all. And one thing that is constant in that 30 years is the number of women, girls that we could have coming into STEM. Yeah. When I come into engineering 30 years ago, I will be the only woman in my department. I don't want to see that anymore. My hope is to see more children, more female coming into STEM and into engineering. And it is trickling in, but we need more. We need more women, more young female coming in. All the work that you're doing, it's amazing. I've got it listed on paper already. Everything that you've said is already here. as Inem said, yes, one thing is us doing all this work, but we need to start seeing that all the fruits of your labor, to start seeing that in the workforce. That is my hope, is to start seeing more female, more, and it's coming in, as I said, it's coming in, like in my department, for example, that I work in capital project, engineering project. We do like major projects in the pharmaceutical industry. There is about 70 of us in my department, for example. I'm just giving you an example. 70, so that is about just less than 10% of us are female. So majority are male. And out of that female, out of that less than 10%, we have admin person is there, and we have and other things. So maybe like 6 of us are actually maybe chemical engineers or mechanical engineers in that room of 70. So we do need more coming in. But and one thing that I will say though, that in the world of the STEM, so we have the science, technology, engineering, math. In science, it's good. So in GSK, we have good representation for women coming into science, like biochemistry, microbiology, all that, good representation. In technology, which is AI, robotics, we still need more. In engineering, we still need more. Engineering, we need more. And in math, definitely more. So basically, from my point of view, I just want to see more female, more young girls coming into my industry. I want to see more. Whenever I see them, I get so excited. I approach them, I talk to them, I encourage them, and I want to see more of that coming in. That's all I was saying.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Jennifer. And we are going to hear more. We would like you to hold down your line of thought, and we know that you have a lot to say. So let's go ahead. So, the keynote speaker expressed in her opening remarks that if Nigeria wants to thrive, in the fourth revolution, our girls can't be left behind. Let's talk about the challenges, the realities that limit girls' participation in STEM, AI, and robotics. Adora, I'll start with you. Beyond the obvious lack of resources, what are the most pervasive systemic and cultural barriers that discourage girls from pursuing and staying in STEM, AI, and robotics tracks?
This question. I don't want to bring out my bazooka right now. Let me just put it back inside my pocket. I'll say the biggest one. You said beyond the obvious lack of resources. I think the lack of resources is the root cause of everything else. Or maybe I don't know if I should call it lack of resources or poverty. Because if there was abundance, it wouldn't matter who did what. Right? Because there's enough to go around, and that's fine. But when there is lack, which is the current situation, and this is nobody's fault, at least nobody's fault here, it's just unfortunate in like where we found ourselves and the things that, the problems we've inherited that we have to deal with. But it's like, because there is a lack, I've seen families where there is a first son, a middle child as a girl, and a last born as a boy. And the first son goes to school, goes to university. Now he's able to study whatever he wants to study, right? The second girl that maybe wanted to be a nurse, which would have been a STEM field. And this thing I'm talking about is a reality that I've seen in my interactions with different people. Second born girl that would have liked to be a nurse. Guess what? The family could not afford sending 3 children to school at the same time. So they told her to go and get married. Oh, that's it. She will get married eventually now. She's and then they put the resources into the last born, right? And sent him to university as well a couple of years later. Now, this girl eventually went to university, right? She figured it out by herself, but she went on her own, right? Basically to spite her family. And I don't even think she went to she did a bachelor's degree. I think she went to a polytechnic and did something. I don't know whether it's called OND or HND, one of all those things. And she's no longer the nurse she wanted to be today, but she's now a science teacher in a school. At least she still was able to build something for herself and she got to that point. But the thing is, this is the reality of many homes, right? I think another thing is that there is there is an orientation. Like a lot of people think that in the ideal educated African home, or let me say Nigerian home, they understand that sending the woman to school is important. But the caveat in what I just said is educated. Because like you said earlier, if you actually educate the woman, the good thing is that she applies those critical thinking skills into even beyond education, into life. And you know how they say, when you educate a woman, you educate a whole community and all that kind of stuff. It's not false. It's true. We've seen it play out multiple times. But that is for a family or a community that understands the importance of education, right? I don't know if I'm going to get my statistics right, but I think it's 130 million, if I'm not mistaken. But 130 million Nigerians are living in abject poverty out of, I think, 200 million or so, right? And if you have more than 2/3 of the population living in poverty, right? They're not going to be prioritizing STEM education, unfortunately. They're looking for how they will feed. They're looking for what would get them out of the situation that they are in. And sometimes for them, they're like, what's the value in sending this one to school to go and do what? Please go and marry this chief and bring money back home for us. It's unfortunate, but we've seen these things play out multiple times. And it's not even about pursuing STEM fields. I think it's the woman being educated normally, generally. Let's fix the education problem. Then we can now narrow down into what are you getting education in? Because honestly, I feel like as much as I am an advocate for STEM, I love STEM and I want more women to get into STEM because it is even gold all over the world. If you have some sort of STEM degrees, you are valuable in research. It's easy for you to get some certain kinds of visas. Your life can change literally because you have a STEM degree. I've seen it happen to many people. So yes, I want more women to be in STEM. But the first thing I want to happen is for more women to be educated. Let's start from there, right? And I honestly think that we can't ignore the obvious lack of resources that comes from poverty because that is the root cause for everything.
Thank you.
Can I say something to
all
that
right.
quick? Thank you, Adora. I like your view on the lack of resources as well. And what we found in our work is we look at lack of resources from the state point of view. In Nigeria, we actually have enormous resources. They are just not channeled to education. So we have governors that have security votes and have security funds that can help education in their states. We have governors, local government chairmen now and chairpersons now, chairlady, local, whatever they're called, that have the resources. The figures were sent not too long ago. I think a typical local government, maybe in Lagos or somewhere, this month or few months, had about 75 billion naira. You know, this is what should be channeled to education. So what I like that the government have done is that they've pushed resources to the locals. So now we have to tap into that resources. What we've done as ACLI's Foundation is we are writing to the state governors. We are writing to the commissioners of education. We are writing to the local government. What are you doing? How are you channeling these resources to the local, to your schools? The local governments are in charge of the schools. So if we understand how the schools work, then we're also writing to the federal schools. You don't have STEM labs. Let's build these STEM labs. And we're doing it. We're not interested in your profits. We are in some schools in Lagos State now. We are in 6 schools in Lagos State. We are doing it we're not taking a penny from them. But what I just want to see, I want to see STEM labs in those schools so that, so they've given us the permission to train STEM, robotics and AI from primary 4 to primary 6. That is, I'm so elated. It's a joy for me. I don't need your money. I need that opportunity to get there, to provide this education for them. Why am we doing this? I've been talking to the Commissioner for Education, and we've been trying to build the STEM labs and talking about it, how it would it cost and all that. But I want to push this, and I want to show them what they are supposed to do. These 6 schools that they've given us 6 schools in 6 geopolitical zones. Fantastic. So that when we build one, we build it as a prototype and show them and do the blueprint of how they should teach STEM in Lagos for the primary schools, from ECCD to primary 6 to basic 6. So that's where, so what I want to say is I love the fact that you looked at it from the angle of the parents and all that. We don't really have resources from that angle, but from our parents, the government, the President Tinubu and the governors and or the chair local government, they have the money and they have to put these resources in education for us, because we see them doing other things. We just had a boat, whatever, from the Lagos State. So if we can do boats competition and we can do fashion and art, we can do education. So we need to keep on these questions we're asking. They're repetitive, but it's so that they hear us, that what are you doing, their challenges, how are you bridging that challenge, and what exactly. And I love what you're saying. It has to be practical, it has to be actionable, it has to be now. We're not waiting. What can you do now? That money you have, how much are you putting? And I know that Abia State, with the Abia First program that we are on, that governor Oti, Dr. Choma Oti, excellent governor. He has, and a lot of governors are excellent as well. He's made sure that most of his money goes into education. And you see in the many years, you see the people of Abia, how different they are, because the teachers are being trained differently. They have about 10,000 teachers. Then they employ 5,000 younger teachers. And we've been training them. Imagine training teachers in what are we, cutting edge training, the new ways. They've changed their lesson plans. They've changed we're doing videos for them, how they will teach. They're transforming that state, and the resources are there. Apart from government money from Nigeria, there's money from work as well. The World Bank is there to resource them. They'll say that there are trainings. There are so many opportunities for them to earn money. UBEC is there. There's so many opportunities, but that resources, they must go into, they not just for the schools, they're all the things that they are doing. They also must channel it to STEM education as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abby, for that. Thank you, Adora, for listing out some of the challenges and, for emphasizing on the importance of girls being educated first. And thank you, Abby, for, elaborating on what Arclight Foundation is doing in ensuring that girls are being educated in the STEM field. Yes. Okay. So, Ekene, from your frontline experience, at what age do you think that the leaky pipeline typically starts for girls in, the STEM fields, robotics, AI fields? And can you give us a specific example of a moment where a girl's interest was either ignited or extinguished? And how do you think the examples and illustrations in our textbooks that, show men in some jobs and women in others affect girls' interest in science and technology? You can
Thank
unmute
you very
us.
much. Yes, I am on mute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Nancy. This is a very interesting question because it's a question that addresses the core of what we do at the STEM Damsel. We identified this leaky pipeline, and that is why we narrowed our target audience to girls in secondary school. We understood the fact that we saw that the pipeline was leaking from a particular phase, and then we were able to narrow ours to begin to capture them at the secondary school level. So for me, and with the work I do at the STEM Damsel, working with young girls, I would say that the leak in the pipeline begins to show at the senior secondary school. Up until then, the girls are enthusiastic, they're full of zest, all the I want to be a doctor, I want to be this, and there's so much of spark in their eyes. But as they begin to go, they write the junior WAEC and move into the senior secondary school, the reality stares them in the face. The unfortunate biases and stereotypes, subtle messaging in the society, in the classrooms, at home, amongst their peers, the teachers, math is for boys, hard is for boys, school is calm. All of this subtle messaging begins to play out for the girls. And I like to say that it's not necessarily because the girls don't have the capacity. We see the potentials in the girls, and that is why Arclight Foundation and every other person who's doing great work in the STEM space is still insisting and persisting that we must continue to change the narrative. But by this time, these girls begin to, oh, I just want to do anything as long as I don't have to deal with math. I just want to do anything as long as it's not hard. And then when you go back home, the distraction from the home front, the mothers are now beginning to see their assistant helpers. The daughters, of course, have also begun to get into the role of assistant mother. So you have to do chores, you have to take care of the younger ones. All of this gradually begins to dampen the interest of the girls. And the question you asked about an example, like the initial speaker, I think is Nwodo, I didn't get her first name, when she talks about finances. Finances play a critical role because this is the same example I'm going to give. We went to a local community in Delta for our STEM sensitization program for girls in SS1 because we identified that we needed to consolidate the self-esteem and confidence level of girls at that level. Once you have been able to re-engineer their minds, they are able to pull through to the senior secondary. They're able to pull through the secondary school irrespective of whatever challenges that they may get. So by a stroke of luck, there was this young girl who was in the commercials, but found her way into that sensitization program. And after the whole program, she walked up to me and said, "Ma, I really want to be a radiographer, but my parents say they don't have the money for any additional cost apart from the school fees." So hers was even fair because the parents were willing to pay her school fees. The challenge they had was that they didn't want additional fees. And additional fees come from practicals and science textbooks that are quite expensive, So we set up a meeting with her parents, and then one way or the other, our organization was able to help subsidize and get the girl back into the sciences. But this is the situation on ground, especially in a lot of underserved communities. For the few parents who still believe in education, who still want to give their daughters some level of education, they are financially constrained. So when a daughter comes home to say, "I want to get a science textbook that is almost the same fee as her school fees," the parents are forced and they compel those daughters to move into courses that seemingly look like they are way cheaper in the subject. So these are some of the problems that girls in the STEM field still continue to experience even in this dispensation. And the question around the textbook, like I said earlier, subtle messaging. You open every textbook, the doctors, and the keynote speaker, that's the executive director, said that while she was growing up, she didn't even know any female engineer, and this, of course, is the case even up until now. You open your textbooks, the engineers are males. The very difficult professions are for the men. And then you see them subtly messaging nursing for the women, housekeeping for the women, and what have you. All of these play a role in how girls eventually opt or choose the courses they eventually end up with. And there's, of course, a United Nations report that also supports that learning materials contribute about 75% to decision making for young girls. So every time girls look at their textbooks and they don't see themselves represented in those professions, it is an indication and an indicator that they do not fit into those STEM roles. And I hope that as we continue to to have these conversations. These are some of the areas we need to begin to change: curriculum development, shattering biases and stereotypes that continue to affect the interests of girls in STEM. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ekene. Wow, that was really a good insight. The example that you gave, I can actually relate to that, but I think I'll give my own example later on in the discussion. Yes. So, Jennifer, from your vantage point now, how does the lack of early encouragement for girls manifest in the professional world? What are the tangible consequences for innovation and the products we build when diverse voices are missing?
Good question. Well, you can definitely see that on the ground when there's just a few female and more male engineers around. Innovation, diversity, ideas is kind of constrained. If you're doing engineering design, for example, and you don't have any like female perspective, of course, it's going to be like kind of like one-sided. Let's say things like an example that comes to mind, for example, as a result of not many females going into the STEM subject. Let's say automation industry, for example, when they're doing the like designing the cars, doing the like accident, like doing like crashing the cars, using like crash dummies. The crash dummies that are used, for example, are built in a male format. So they haven't put that female body to do the design. It's kind of one format. So in terms of the safety aspect of things, it does have an impact. Number two, medical devices, for example, the medical devices that have been manufactured, they're using like the male physiological body to manufacture the medical device. So things like that measures heart rate, or like the what is going on in the body. There are other things that is going on in the female body, like the hormone. The hormone plays a major part in our body. Periods, or menopause, all these kind of things have an effect when using those kind of medical device. These kind of things are not taken into account as much as possible when they're designing these things. And then when something horrible happens, they see that they haven't really got used enough data to be able to design that equipment. It's been one-sided. One thing that is a major concern to me is AI. The speed that AI is going on right now terrifies me, because the female aspect of things is not showing up yet. The data that is being used at the moment to generate different kind of things is very skewed, it's very biased. So when it comes into like simple things like recruitment, for example, when you're using AI to do recruitment, it is showing up like that, oh, men can do like engineering, women can do engineering, women can only do like admin work. So that means that when a recruiter that is just using like that AI to recruit, they're not selecting women, they're preferring males, when they're doing the selection. And one major example is Amazon, for example. This happened with Amazon in 2018, where they had to pull that AI because it was favoring men more than women. Number two is facial recognition, for example. Some of the software out there at this moment, the accuracy for like light-skinned men is 0.8%, but for Black women, it's 34.8% accuracy. Can you imagine launching that kind of AI in the industry? What kind of chaos that will cause, because it is skewed negatively to female. So we need more females to be in this industry, to make a change, to challenge, to innovate, to make sure that the data that's been generated is refined before it is used in AI. In the financial world as well, the same thing. In the financial world, when they're using AI, let's say you want to get a credit card, for example, even though you might be, able-bodied woman, you have a good job, they have all this data that is skewed against you, where the male might get more money than you are, the same thing applies to loan as well. So these kind of things where we've seen major impacts because of females are not being represented in those industry. So it's my greatest hope is that like with ACE Foundation, the work that we are doing, we're bringing more female into STEM, into AI, into robotics to make changes and to challenge and to make sure that things are not skewed negatively in females' favor. Financially for us as well, like women, as somebody said, women in STEM subject, the wage, the kind of salary it helps, it enrich the family, it enrich them as well. It gives them financial power as well. So it is very, very important that we steer, we help, we foster, we collaborate. Long may it continue to bring those women, young girls, into STEM, AI, and robotics. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. We need to really encourage the females. Yes, we need a lot of encouragement to the females. And, from all that we've said, it's clear that it's not just about, technology or access to technology. It's also about like the culture that we are currently in, visibility and, encouraging women. And now, so now let's talk about how we can change that. Let's move now from, diagnosis to action, from the challenges now. What are the practical solutions? What can we do starting today? What can we do to, bridge this gap? So I'll start with you, Adora. What are 2 or 3 practical low-cost interventions that a school or community group can implement, let's say tomorrow, to make AI and robotics more accessible and appealing to girls? And I said low-cost interventions because, we know the climb we're currently in. So that our educators that are, in the audience can have something they can start with.
Honestly, I think the first one is representation for sure, right? These girls need to see more women that are doing things already in the field and are doing well, right? They need to hear their stories. They need to hear how well they are doing so that they can be motivated. I remember that I went to a school one day and I was talking to them about technology, and the girls were yawning until I pointed at one girl and I asked her, "How much do you think I earn in a year?" And then she tried guessing, and I said, "Go higher." And then she tried guessing, and I said, "Go higher." And then all the girls were like, "Wow!" And then after I did that one tiny thing, they were attentive till the end of the program. They all gave me their emails. And I am still talking to them today. And I'm still, obviously, through the consent of the school and their parents, interacting with them today. And my nonprofit does a bunch of things and, a bunch of activations for them in Lagos, just by asking that one tiny question. I'm not saying that we should publish everybody's salaries. Obviously, I was able to be that vulnerable because there were no cameras there and it was just me and the girls, right? But girls need to see more people in AI, in STEM, and in robotics because it helps them find people that could be relatable and it just makes sense. For example, I went to a different school once and I was asking people, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And the girl actually told me she wants to be a doctor. One of the girls, like obviously different people said different things. "Oh, I want to be a content creator. Oh, I want to be a programmer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse." I was hearing doctor and engineer consistently. And then one of the girls I wanted to be a doctor, I asked her, "Who's your role model?" And she told me Ira Star. And I like Ira Star, don't get me wrong, but that did not make sense to me one bit. Because how do you want to be a doctor and the person that is your role model is an artist? It doesn't make sense. And so we need to have representation to make these girls see more people that they can possibly emulate. It's easy to do these things by creating presentations for them that talk about people's journeys. If possible, by inviting some of those people that are accessible to those schools to talk to them directly, by having them watch entertaining documentaries, by giving them case studies. Obviously, when I say all these things, do it in a fun way that's relatable to people in elementary school and secondary school so that they can relate. Right. But by doing all these things that expose them to people, some people that you might not have access to physically, Maybe you can even bring someone that works in NASA so that they will be like, oh my God, NASA. You can bring someone that works in NASA that everybody will be so interested in listening to just because they work at NASA, right? All these different things. You don't have to do it physically, you can do it virtually as well. But like representation matters. Them seeing more of people that look like them in the news, them seeing more of people that look like them put in front of them through books, through these case studies, through these presentations and slides that the tutors make, basically exposure. Right. The second thing I would say is still on exposure, but not exposure to the people, exposure to the tech. Right. I heard, what you people were talking about initially, the conversation around what you're doing in Arclight's Foundation, right? I think that that's very important. Talking about like, building STEM labs and things like this for schools and then starting there. A lab might be, if we're talking low budgets, right? A lab might be big, right? But let's give them access to technology very early enough. There are free online tools, right? There are free online tools that people can use to teach programming. I think a very fun one is called Scratch. I know that people use Scratch to learn coding, and it's like as you are gaming, you are coding. So it's a very interactive way for children or people that are getting into programming to learn programming. Introduce them to Scratch. And I think there's a tier of Scratch that is free, right? There are basic robotic kits on the internet as well. There's a Harvard CS50 course that I keep talking about that I'm like, even for older people, anybody that wants to get started in technology, go and take that course first. Obviously, there's a paid version, which is when you pay, that's when they give you certificates that you took the course. But if you don't pay, you can take the entire course for free. So you're only actually paying for the certification, which some people like to pay for because adding it to their resume, makes them look serious and all of that stuff. But it's like, even if you don't pay for it, you've gained the knowledge anyway for free. And so that's a good way, right? One computer can go a long way. One computer. And having people see these things and get exposed and finding a way. But the point is exposure, right? And the final thing I would say is community support and longevity, continuity, whatever it is that you want to call it. Let's create STEM clubs, AI clubs, robotics clubs, and have these people feel like they are even part of the process. Because when people are a part of something, they tend to take it more seriously. Imagine joining a company where you believe in the mission. You will carry your tasks on your head more than somebody that just joined because they wanted to get paid, or somebody that just joined, they believed in the mission, and now they have a terrible boss and their boss is annoying them. Do you understand? If you feel like you are a part of that thing and you feel like you are respected as you do that thing, you will do it very well. And so carrying them along, having them create computer clubs, recurring clubs, having them even sometimes the ones in secondary school or maybe early university, if you're also targeting higher education, having them create their own events and reach out to you, the teacher, the principal, the NGO in collaboration with the school and be like, oh, we're currently having this event. We want to invite the founders of Piggyverse. We want to invite the people that work in bamboo to talk to us and just encouraging them. You see that they will do that first event, they'll be so happy, they'll do it again. They formed computer club of this, AI club of this. They're building things by themselves. Under their one computer, they are taking turns and they're doing it and they're excited. Whenever they get access to a computer, the first thing they want to do is launch a program that, will allow them continue building from where they stopped. If they have consistent access to spaces where they can learn, ask questions outside of whatever is happening in the class, outside of exam pressure, make it innate, make it something that like they love to do outside of academia, make it a lifestyle and create support around this. Like I said, continuity and longevity is very important because you don't want to start something, do it for 1 year, 2 years, think it's working, and then not having the people that you are interacting with carry the ball for you. Because the truth is, there are other problems that you want to move forward and go and solve because you feel like you've covered a certain surface area. And if you don't build in that longevity, you would leave that place to go and solve the next problem. And the people in the previous place will just drop the ball and move back to whatever they were doing before that was working for them. So I think those would be my top three. I think I said representation, right? Access to technology, no matter how small, and community support and longevity as one thing.
Thank you so much, Adora. I believe that the school owners and educators who are part of our audience have something to take home. At least, we can start small. We can start by, organizing some events in our school that show female representation, females in STEM. So it can help in encouraging, our girls to join the STEM field. And talking about mentorship, Jennifer, I think I'll go to you now. From what Adora has said, we need girls to see more female mentors in STEM. How can industry professionals like yourself actively mentor and support the next generation of girls in tech?
Good question. So as you've seen my bio, I work with GlaxoSmithKline, and mentorship, it's very, very important. So one of the things that we do is so when we bring in young engineers, not young female engineers onto site, they are appointed like a mentor who will follow them through their career when they're doing either their graduate programs, industrial placement. So there will always be a female mentor to mentor them, to empower them if they're having any issues, basically to make sure that they have a positive experience so that they can come back and be in a STEM field going forward. I would say that things like as a mentor, I'm involved in so many organizations. Like here in the UK, we have like organization called She Can Engineer. So She Can Engineer is like a big organization that promotes female engineers. They have like a different kind of activities going on, and I always go there to so they will invite like young girls from secondary school from age 11 to 17. So they go to like South Bank University, for example, and they will invite all kinds of female mentors from different work background to come to talk to these female mentors and let them see the possibilities of all different kind of aspects of engineering or STEM subjects that they can get into. Apprenticeship, industrial placement, definitely like GlaxoSmithKline, many universities out there, even many secondary schools as well, letting children come to do, even from a young age, school trips, for example, is very, very important. Excursions, if you can get children into manufacturing sites, let them see how robotics is being used in manufacturing. Let them see how AI is being used. Smart manufacturing, let them see it in real life. And that will really, really open their minds to see that all the robotics, the AI, this is how it's being used. It's being used in manufacture, like Coca-Cola, flour mill, car manufacturing, pharmaceutical. Let them see it in real life. That is very important. And also things like apprenticeship, for example, GlaxoSmithKline, they get children in from when they finish A-levels, they will come in and they will do gain hands-on experiences, and also they will do part-time university. So what the university career that might take 3 to 4 years will take 7 years, but during that time they've gained hand-on experience and they've also get a university degree at the end of it and move into engineering. I've seen so many girls that have come in this way and a member, a full-time employees or employees within GlaxoSmithKline. Milk rounds, like get companies, if children can't go for excursion or trips, let companies coming into schools, to mentor children, to bring physical things that is being manufactured to share with the children. This is a great way for children to increase their mindset, to increase their imagination as well. So these are all the kinds of things that we do to mentor young children, young girls to to come into engineering, come into STEM subjects, and to make them more confidence to pursue the career. Just one more thing I'll say is like here in the UK, there's the Royal Academy of Engineering. We work with they work with secondary schools, so to bring them into like STEM subjects. So basically, the children that are want to do STEM, they will give them. So like one of the companies I work for is we have like children where we give them live problems that we have in the company to say, okay, you go and solve that problem. And I'm nominated to go to the school, so I'm going to the school every other week to see how they're progressing. So basically, one of the things that we have to manufacture, we give them like some effluent water that we're generating from our plant, and they have to like do like a mini factory where they provide some chemicals and some sand bed to purify that water as much as possible. So this is like a live example. So they had hands-on experience, and at the end of that 6 months, they're able to then present. They have like a competition where they present it to a panel, like they're doing like the ACE Foundation, for example, and get a winner. So these kind of things, build their interest, so that's the kind of ways that we can do the mentoring.
Yeah, thank you so much. She can engineer. Oh, that's the nice one. I like that. I like that. To our audience, I hope we are, taking notes and getting our questions ready. Let's write out our questions in the chat, and they will be addressed during the question and answer session. Yes. Ekene, this is for you. We know that cultural changes take time. What effective communication or advocacy strategies can persuade parents, community leaders, and policymakers to know that investing in girls' STEM education is not just a women's issue, but a benefit to everyone?
Oh, okay. Thank you again. It's been insightful listening to everyone. This is a very strategic question. And I'm going to highlight 3 effective strategies that we are exploring at the STEM Damsel and that we recommend every time these conversations come up. Because it's not enough for us to diagnose the problem, we must also move into how we solve these challenges. So the very first strategy is what I call the smart economy strategy. And Adora just practicalized that for us when she gave us the example about how she asked young girls she was speaking to, to guess her salary. If we move the conversation from just educating girls is good, we have to what this strategy tells us is that our narrative must change from just educating girls is good to educating girls is smart economics. Girls have a role to play in contributing to the GDP of the nation, the GDP of the community where they live, the GDP of your family, because issues around poverty, lack of finance, resources has been an ongoing thing. Adora was trying to give us a statistics, 130, 140 million Nigerians living in abject poverty. And we still have people who have daughters with potentials. And the only reason why they can't educate these girls or why they are not allowing them to fulfill those potentials is simply because of their gender. So we must change the narrative from just educating girls, because a lot of the stakeholders, high influence stakeholders, by the way, a lot of the parents, a lot of the community leaders, they're still thinking that we're just talking about educating the girl child because we just want the funfair. No, they must understand that it is smart economics. So if you have 50 women in a community and the 50 women earn the kind of salary Adora, was able to speak to those kids about, you can imagine what those women can do to your community. So this is a narrative that we must begin to change and shapen. So we're not just saying invest in girls in STEM because we just want it. It's because we are also
want to change the fact that we want to increase the economic power, the purchasing power of these women. So that is one of the strategies. And every time, it was one of the strategies that got us the buy-in of some of our girls in the local underserved communities where we serve. Just the same way as Adora said, it was a question I also posed to one of the mothers who was at the time saying she didn't want her daughter to even go to school. And I asked her, why do you think I'm able to do what I do? It's because I have also gone through school. I studied electrical engineering, by the way. And every time, you have conversations with these women in these local communities, they are able to say, oh, okay, all right, if you have done it, then I think I also want my daughter to be able to, give me a better life if I'm able to help her pursue this STEM field. So the first is what we call the smart economy strategy. The second is what I call the living proof strategy. So one of the conversations or one of the things I hear more often when we go to these underserved communities is they believe that a lot of the women who are doing great stuff in the sciences are doing it because they were fortunate to be born in the cities. Some are in the UK, you are in the US, so it's easy for you to talk about all of these things. But when we take these coding classes to the girls in the local communities, and these girls can see their friends, the girls who they all go to the stream together, the girls who they all, play together, see them build solar lamps, see them code, and see them do practice some of this science, this stuff. You can imagine what that would do to the mind of the girls in those underserved communities. So this is what we call show, don't preach. It's not about just talking. It's about, beyond the fact that they want to see other women, they want to see that even the girls from their local community can do these things. And the moment they see a girl who they all went to primary school together, who is able to do this thing, they now know that you are not doing it because you were in the UK or because we are in Abuja or because you are in Lagos. They now know that it is something that is innate in every girl. You only need to put your mind to do it and explore the potentials that you have inside of you. And then the third strategy that I would love to highlight is what I call the bridge table strategy. So this is a strategy more or less like a dialogue system where we bring the various stakeholders within the ecosystem, the policymakers, the community leaders, the educators, parents, who of course have divergent views. We who are advocates understand what we are advocating for and why. But then, because we need to get their buy-in, we then use this strategy, bring all of these stakeholders together, and then via that dialogue, we're able to change mindsets, we're able to change perspectives, and you would find out that those who were skeptical about STEM education for girls eventually would even become your champions and your allies. Conclusively, I would love to say that effective advocacy must be multi-layered, because the goal is not just to make room for girls in STEM, but to make STEM unimaginable without the girls. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all our insights. Our time is fast spent. So we'll just try take the last round of questions now. We're trying to move towards the educators now. Our audience today is full of educators. We have teachers, school leaders, consultants. Let's focus on them, for a moment. How can they drive this transformation? Adora, you've spoken about some practical interventions that can be done in our schools. You spoke about how you used yourself as an example. Many teachers feel that they lack the technical expertise to teach AI or robotics. What is your advice for a non-technical teacher who wants to foster a future-ready mindset in their girls, and what are the first steps they can take in their classroom next week?
I'm going to say something here that would shock people, but I don't know how many people here know the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman. He's not a technical person. zero technical knowledge. He's not a technical person. He's more of a business person. Same thing with Steve Jobs, former CEO of Apple, right? Not a technical person as well. You don't need to be technical to inspire people in technology or to work in technology. Even all the things that we see, right? Obviously, yes, they are the leaders of the organization and things like that. But let's even go to Elon Musk, the one that is currently there that everyone can see. I feel like the name that many people know, even if you don't know Sam Altman. Elon Musk and SpaceX, more than half the time, maybe even more than 80% of the time, Elon Musk does not know about the technical things happening in SpaceX that is allowing people to launch those things that they launch into space. So what I'm going to tell these people is that they don't need to be technical to spark curiosity about technology. What matters most is creating an environment where like you make learning feel possible, relevant, and exciting. And so, like, one of the things I would say, first of all, is start with curiosity. You don't need to start with code, right? There's so many resources on the internet that can help you teach the code if you got to that point. Expose people to the code so that they are even passionate about it and they seek it and they want to learn it themselves through resources beyond you, right? You don't have to teach algorithms or robotics. You want to start by helping girls understand why AI matters and where AI is, where they can see it, because it's literally around us. If you have access to technology, there's a very high chance that you are using some form of AI right now. And you've been doing that for the past 4 years, but you didn't even notice. And it's going to get to a point where every tech company is going to become an AI company. You literally become an AI company or you go out of business with the way the world is going. Right? And so you can expose them to those sorts of things so that they understand this is why AI matters. So if you want to play in this space, having the knowledge of AI is important. They see it in places like voice notes, translation apps, social media recommendations, e-commerce recommendations. It's literally everywhere around us. And the thing is, once we're able to crack the curiosity part for them, once they realize that it's part of everyday lives, it becomes less intimidating and becomes more familiar for them. And they are now able to take things on if they want to, if they're inspired by it. But the first step is inspiration. Because you know how they say that thing, what's the African thing? They say you can take a horse to the stream, but you can't force it to drink water. You can drag them and say, do technology. But if they're not interested in it, they won't drink that water. They won't do it. Right. And so the first step is starting with curiosity, getting them there. I think another thing is that you can focus on problem solving and creativity. So you can run small projects that encourage students to think like technologists, even without computers. You can have them brainstorm around how technology could solve different issues in their community, find a problem that you're passionate about, and think, how would you use technology to solve that problem? Do a debate, right? And have them come out in their full selves and want to argue with each other around why they can use technology to do this or do that. So it could be in waste management, safety, education, electricity, poverty, economics, like whatever problem is around their local community. And take those things and let's say maybe do presentations, sketch them out on paper and things like that. That mindset, you're actually building innovation in them by doing that. And in my honest opinion, that is the foundation for AI thinking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Connect them to resources as well. You are not the resource because you don't have the knowledge, but you can be the bridge between them and those resources. There are free teacher guides, there are short online courses that you can take to even grow yourself and then start teaching them. There are also resources that you can find to connect them to so that they can start taking those courses and they can grow themselves. Even if it's that you dedicate one class a week to exploring these ideas, you watch a short video and then once people are done watching the video, you discuss it in the class, whatever it is you want to do. The internet has so much that if you leverage the internet well, you can actually start doing these things. So honestly, my advice would be that you don't have to wait to become an expert before you introduce AI to people. Just become a facilitator of the exploration. Guide that exploration. Be that person that has things flow to the students through you, right? And the truth is, especially with kids, they don't learn by what you tell them. They learn by what they see you do. right? And when girls see their teachers learning with them, they would not see that this technology is not reserved for tech people, oh. It's for everybody, and it's not reserved for old or young people, oh. See my old teacher, I don't know, young children, they always feel like people that are in their 30s are old for some weird reason. But like, see my old teacher that is doing this thing, and me too, I can do it, right? And you see that it becomes a communal effort and everyone takes it seriously. So don't present yourself as the expert. Just be the bridge, be the facilitator of the exploration, guide the exploration, build their passion and their curiosity. That's how I would say you should challenge it from.
Thank you. I hope our educators were able to, take a lot of notes, how you can spark curiosity in our girls in the classroom. You don't have to be technical. You can organize tech-centered conversations and debates. Thank you so much for all that, Adora. Ekene, you've highlighted, the power of representation and the leaky pipeline. For a school leader or education consultant that is listening today, what are the key indicators that they should look out for in their school's culture, curriculum, and hiring practices to ensure that they are not unintentionally creating an environment that pushes girls out of STEM?
Thank you very much again for this question, because this is very relatable. I think the first thing I would like to start with is the school owners or educators must ask themselves, what are their values? What are their values and what are they normalizing? This is a very relatable question, because I remember when I was writing one of my engineering maths exam in the higher institution. I mean, it was one of those exams, when you're writing and you're all sweaty. We were only 3 girls in the Department of Electrical Electronics, by the way. It was a very tough exam. And then a lecturer walks up to me and asks me, what are you doing in this department? You should be in banking or biz admin. And this is a lecturer asking a student who is writing an examination. These are some of the ways educators, whether they do it deliberately or they think they're joking about it, we have had a lot of stories of how educators stylishly, subtly, directly or indirectly make statements, that make girls go back home and begin to question if they really are in the right place or if they have what it takes to actually continue in that department. So what I would, in response to that question, I have what we call the revamp framework. You asked about the indicators that the educators should look out for. I have what we call the revamp framework. And this revamp means representation. We have talked a lot about representation, engagement, visibility, assurance, mentorship, and persistence. Because we say we don't have much time, representation, we have talked about that a lot. Is there fair representation in what you do in your school? Can the girls see fair representation in leadership? Do you have fair representation in your teachers' quota and quorum? In terms of visibility, do the girls feel seen? Are girls celebrated? Do you celebrate? Do they feel valued within that environment? Are the girls free to engage whether in the classrooms, either we have talked about setting up of STEM clubs, robotic clubs. It's not just enough to bring the girls into these clubs. Will the girls feel like they are a part of the club? When there's an opportunity for leadership, do you allow the girls to lead even in these clubs? So these are some of the indicators that I expect our educators to continue to look out for. Let us ensure that you celebrate women amongst the teachers. Let us ensure that even the efforts of girls are celebrated. In the classroom, do the girls feel like their classrooms are safe spaces? So a girl makes a mistake, either answers a question wrongly. What is the response of the teacher? Are you the teacher who now says, I knew it, I know you can't make anything. I know you are not going to know it. Or I think the best thing for you is just to move to another class because I don't think you can make it here. So these are some of the subtle biases and ways the school environment, dampens the interest of girls in STEM fields. And then we have talked a lot also about mentorship. But the P in the revamp, which is persistence, is how is the school environment helping the young girls to stay even in the face of the challenges they may be going through. A lot of these young girls, by the time they just get introduced into the sciences, a lot of them, find it a bit difficult, especially for physics and maths. It's not enough to just say because they have, failed maybe the first one or they haven't done so well. We must ensure that our school environment is able to build resilience even in these young girls, because even if you would ask Jennifer, she will tell you 30 years working in the engineering field, there's a lot of resilience. It's not just going to come easy. So the school environment, we must ensure that it also builds resilience even in these young girls, because whether you like it or not, life is tough and only the tough will keep going. So these are some of the indicators that I believe that our educators should look out for. And above all, they must ensure that they have values, that talk about equity. Let the value system of your school talk about diversity. Let the value system of your school talk about inclusion. And I'm sure that with this, we would be able to ensure that our school environments become safe spaces for the young girls. Thank you very much. I don't know if Nancy, are you still there? I think Nancy, anyone from Arclights?
I think Nancy is having a bit of a network
Network.
glitch,
Yes.
but she will be in shortly. Thank you so much, Ekene, for those strategies that you have shared. They
Thank you.
are very, very on point. And we'll just go straight to the next person now. So please forgive me. My video is not up because I'm just handling the back end now. I didn't know I had to.
Can you hear me? This is Jennifer.
Yes, Jennifer, please. So just go straight to your own
I,
question.
I would say I honestly couldn't put it better than the last two speakers as to what we require educators, schools to do to encourage girls in school. Yes, the classroom needs to be not just competitive, but a collaborative environment where students, female students can speak, can voice their opinion, can share ideas. As the speaker said, being in the engineering STEM industry, well, I would say especially, I know the engineering industry, you have to be very tough. You have to hold your own. So all these kind of things, confidence, being able to speak and be heard, being able to, like, if you have any ideas, so this is one thing that GSK encourages. Don't be scared to speak out. If something is wrong, if you feel something is wrong, do not be afraid to speak up, to voice your opinion. And this kind of attitude will require from when these girls are coming from primary, from secondary school, to start instilling it in them, to speak their minds, to, if they want to bring in ideas, to be able to do it, to bring it confidently, because it is very, very, very important. Another thing that I would say is as I think a lot of these things has already been covered. We all learning together. You don't have to be a techie person to be able to teach AI, to be able to teach engineering. The world that we're in now, we've got social media where we get a lot of information from. I love watching like stuff, how things are made, engineering stuff on the internet. I love things like even like chocolate. little things like that. My background is manufacturing, so manufacturing excites me. So the things that we take for granted, like science, engineering, it's all around us that we take for granted. It's only when something horrible go wrong, maybe there's something wrong with a bridge, or that's when we appreciate engineering and all that. But it's all around us. Let's use that to teach our young female to excite them. Just simple things around us to use that. And as I've said earlier, if you have the opportunity to link with some companies, I think it is very, very important. Let them start seeing what engineering, what AI, what robotics, how it is how it's being used in industry. My background is validation engineer, so I validate some of these robotics, all the major automated equipment that we use in manufacturing. I validate it. It would be good to see all those these females. So I let them, even if you have parents that are in tech, in manufacturing, let them come to your school. Let them come and give talk to your school. Let them bring things that they make in the industry. This goes a very long way. If you can't go for school trip, let them come. Invite companies to come to your school to give talks, to share anything that will incite, that would excite, that would that blow their mind. Let that happen. It really goes a long way. I did my primary and secondary education in Nigeria, and back then there was not that opportunity to really see what is happening in the outside world. The first excursion that I did was to go to Kanji Dam, and that really changed my thinking. That this is why I'm an engineer up until today. So the little things that we do, like maybe like the geography teacher, the science teacher, that positive things that you put in that girl, that goes a very long way. My geography teacher, my A-level teacher at A-levels instill in us that, hey, you can do it. And it's those little things, those positive gems, they stay in your mind, they push you forward. So I would encourage our teachers to please continue to do that. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all our panelists. Thank you to the audience. Thank you, everyone. And to our panelists, we just want, 30 seconds. What will be your message to the Nigerian girl child, to teachers or to policymakers? Adora, you can just give us just briefly 30 seconds. What will be your message to them?
Yeah, so what would be my message to the girls? What's my message to you? Audacity is what takes you far. Do what you want to do now, apologize tomorrow, if you even ever need to apologize, right? As far as what you are using Audacity to do is not immoral, right? And it is of good in the long term. Whatever your mind thinks of, stand up and go and do it. Let you use your hands and your brain to benefit yourself. I would say that for sure. I would say, to everybody else that is not the student or the girl, create enabling environments for these kids. We can't consistently keep talking about how we want them to thrive by only talking about it. We have to talk and do. Sometimes we even have to do before we talk. Because that's what makes, so that when we do first, and then when we're talking about results, and then talking about how the things we've done is supposed to favor them. Because if we go and talk to them about why you should take STEM seriously, the first question they will ask you is why. And if you don't have anything to talk about, you've not inspired them. You've just come to give another boring lecture, and you won't be the first. Right. So create this enabling environment. Action is more important than anything else. So please go and do that. And
thank you.
It's important to do collaboration as well. I think that's where I'll end it, right? Let's collaborate with each other wherever necessary, and try and actually solve this problem. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adora. Jennifer would like to hear your closing thoughts. What's your message to the Nigerian girl child, to policymakers?
To say, follow your dreams, never give up. no matter what the challenges are, there is all these, it's really good to see all these collaborations, all these NGOs, all these charities, organizations that are working with schools to bring STEM, AI, robotics into the classroom. Please make most of it. Make most of it. Use it to your advantage, and never give up on your dreams. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you so much. Ekene?
Okay, all right. Well, my closing remark will be to every young girl out there, this is a reminder that you are beautiful, you are bold, you are smart, and your dreams are valid. You have all it takes to achieve whatever you put your mind to do. You only need to dare to dream. For as long as you are able to dream, you can achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to do. This is the message I preach and I say to every young girl that I see out there. And on this International Day of the Girl Child, I want to remind every one of them that they are bold, they are smart, they are beautiful, and that their dreams are valid. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to all our panelists, our incredible panelists, Adora, Jennifer, Ekene. Thank you also to our audience. Thank you to the founder of Arclight Foundation. Next, we're going to have the vote of thanks from Igor Abisini. Igor, over to you.
Okay, sorry, Igor is unavailable at the moment, and I have been taking vote of things. And we want to say a very huge thank you to the panelists. You've made this session an eye-opener. You've given us the difficulties, you've given us the solutions. Thank you to Obasanya. Thank you so much for thinking about the future of robotics for girls and for bringing this together. Thank you so much for everyone that has been able to join in from far and near. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. And we hope to see the future generation of girls take the next step in robotics. Because when women come together, changes are made and generations are aligned. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody from Arclight Foundation. We love you, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Idea sparks a revolution, a moment when learning is no longer passive, but alive, breathing, shaping the minds of a new generation. In the year 2016, a vision was born, a vision to transform education in Nigeria, a vision that dared to challenge the ordinary, that believed that every child, no matter where they were born, deserved a future of innovation, of technology, and most importantly, of limitless possibility. And so, Arclight Foundation began. One program at a time, one child at a time, we built a movement not just for today, but for tomorrow. We have trained teachers, inspired young minds, and fostered a community of thinkers, doers, and dreamers. At the heart of our work stand 4 pillars, 4 centers. The Technological Center, home to World Robot Olympiad Nigeria, and a hub for robotics excellence. The School Leaders and Teachers Development Center, constantly equipping educators with the skills to inspire. The Research and Advocacy Center, where policies and innovations take shape. And the School Transformation Center, redefining education, one institution at a time. But the journey is far from over. The future calls and we answer. With the launch of the STEM School on Wheels, we take learning beyond walls and straight into the heart of communities. With RoboStarter, we plant the seed of innovation in the minds of our youngest learners. With every initiative, we affirm one truth. Education is not a privilege, it's a right. At the helm of this movement is a leader with passion, Abisola Obasanya, the visionary force behind Acolytes Foundation. Her dream has lit the way for thousands, and with every step forward, that light only grows brighter. This is not just about robotics. This is not just about STEM. This is about a generation that will redefine what is possible. This is about Nigeria. This is Acolytes Foundation. The future is here, and it's ours to build.